I'm Roblyn Webb, and I'm the founder and CEO of Freedom Prep Charter Schools here in Memphis, Tennessee. So I founded Freedom Prep in the fall of 2009 with about 100 sixth graders. We now have 5 schools with 1,600 kids in grades pre-K through 12. So the work is intense, to say the least, but it's so rewarding just to see the growth in our kids, and seeing our first graduating class last year graduate. They started out with us with 6th graders, and they graduated where 100% were accepted to 4-year universities and colleges. And so as hard as the work is, working from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m. at night, working at home sometimes, it was all worth it when I saw those kids walk across the stage and get their high school diplomas and head off to college. My background is actually, I'm an attorney. So I was trained as an attorney, and then I got into education because I really started to notice that civil rights was, education was our modern day civil rights movement. And so the work is so important to me because I want kids that look like me, kids that are kids of color, kids from poverty backgrounds, to be able to have the same opportunities that I did to attend and go to any college and university in the country. But our vision is that all students at Freedom Prep will have the same competitive advantage as the most privileged kids in America. In 2007, when I got into the work, we were fooling our families. Our state assessment was not rigorous. We were not preparing our kids for college. A lot has changed in those years. So today, our assessment, Tennessee has moved to Tennessee Ready, which is a more Common Core aligned assessment. And the assessment is far more rigorous. In Tennessee, education is constantly evolving and changing. It's exciting to see when the Achievement School District came to the state of Tennessee to take over failing schools, that also catalyzed the Shelby County, the local school district, to really start making improvements themselves. So not only do we have the ASD now, we have the I-Zone, the Innovation Zone for Shelby County schools. All of those are based on education reform and education reform movements. So I would say that there's momentum right now. We're not where we should be, absolutely, in terms of preparing our kids academically, but there's momentum in Tennessee, and there's momentum for sure in Memphis on actually doing things that help prepare and get our kids ready for colleges. The state of education in Memphis since Dr. King's assassination is cyclical. I think that there have been some things that have changed for the better. I think that there is a strong focus on education and public education reform now. However, I think that we are just as segregated, if not more segregated now than we were when Dr. King was assassinated. My schools are about probably 98% African American, and the majority of schools in the city are that way. There was an effort at one point to consolidate the Shelby County schools and Memphis City schools together. And then there was an effort to unconsolidate those schools as well too. And so I don't think much has changed in terms of race and just the way that our schools look. I do believe that there's more of a focus. I think that the silver lining and the shining light since Dr. King's assassination is that people are actually looking at schools. It's a topic of interest for funders nationally. It's a topic of interest for politicians nationally, where people are interested in improving our public education system and actually investing in improving our public education system. Would Dr. King be happy to see that there are changes and there are people that are motivated to make changes and push our kids? Absolutely. But would he be happy with the state of education and what our schools look like today? No, I don't think so. Until all of our kids are attending schools that will actually prepare them to have the choice to attend any college that they want to, I'm not happy, and I'm sure Dr. King would not be happy until we get to that point where every school a child attends, regardless of what part of the city they're in, really will prepare them for college. We've definitely seen some change in 50 years, and I sure hope that in the next 50 years, education will rise to the forefront, and that other issues do not take away from education being so important for our kids. But I think 50 years is really more than enough time to see change. I think unfortunately we're dealing with so much else in 50 years that education kind of went into the background. I'm hopeful that things will change. Am I hopeful that we will that we'll have the utopia of public education, not necessarily, but I am hopeful that things will change. And I believe because education is a central part of our conversation now, not only locally in Memphis, but also across the country, I am hopeful that there will be significant change in the next 50 years.